It is closing time. The supermarket doors lock. The lights dim to half. But inside, the shelves are still full. Thousands of products no one bought today. Bread, milk, fruit, meat. Rows of prepared meals with tomorrow's date creeping closer. So here is a simple question. What happens to all of it tomorrow morning? Most people assume they know the answer. It all just gets thrown in a dumpster. They are wrong. Because every single unsold product enters a hidden system of decisions. By the end of this video, you will follow the complete journey of unsold food. And you will learn why throwing food away is sometimes the cheapest business decision of all. Why do supermarkets throw away food that is still perfectly good to eat? Why not simply give all of it away for free? And who actually decides the fate of every item on the shelf? Let us start at the beginning. Every product on a shelf is racing an invisible clock. But that clock is more complicated than the date printed on the label. Because there are two completely different kinds of dates. And most shoppers mix them up. Best before is about quality. After that date, the food may be less fresh, but still safe. Use by is about safety. After that date, the food could genuinely make you sick. That single difference decides whether an unsold product can be rescued or must be destroyed. But before any of that, the supermarket has already made a much bigger bet. How much of each product to order in the first place? Order too little, and the shelves go empty. And empty shelves are a serious problem. Studies show that empty shelves make shoppers trust the store less and buy less overall. So supermarkets deliberately overstock. They keep shelves looking full and abundant. A full shelf sells more than a half-empty one, even of the exact same product. This is the abundance effect. Piles of food feel fresh, cared for, and plentiful. But abundance has a cost. Overstock means some products will never be sold in time. The supermarket knows this. They can even predict roughly how much they will not sell. Using sales history, weather, holidays, and local events, they forecast demand for each item. Sunny weekend coming? Order more burgers and salad. Cold snap coming? Order more soup. The forecasts are good, but they are never perfect. Reality always leaves a gap. And that gap, multiplied across thousands of products, is the unsold food we started with. So the store closes. Now every unsold product faces a decision tree, and different products take completely different paths. Watch how this works. Path 1, and the most familiar. The discount sticker. As a product nears its date, the store cuts the price to move it fast. You have seen the reduced to clear shelves, often near closing time, often near the back. The discount deepens as the clock ticks. 30% off, then 50, then 70. The goal is simple. Recover some money rather than none. Path 2. The bakery clearance. Fresh bread has one of the shortest clocks of all. Yesterday's bread cannot be sold as fresh, so it is bagged and marked down hard. Path 3. The internal transfer. Some products get moved, not discarded. Ripe fruit becomes smoothies. Aging vegetables become soup. Bread becomes croutons. The store rescues the value by turning raw stock into a fresh, prepared product. Path 4. The supplier return. Some items can go back to the supplier for credit. This depends on the contract. Sometimes the supplier takes the loss, not the store. Path 5, and the one people love most. Donation. Still edible food can go to food banks, shelters, and charities. Many supermarkets run formal donation programs, collecting surplus every day. But donation is more complicated than it looks. We will come back to why. Path 6. Animal feed. Where the rules allow, some food waste is processed into feed. Bread, produce, and grains can feed livestock if strict safety rules are met. Path 7. Anaerobic digestion. This one sounds strange, but it is clever. Food waste is sealed in a tank where bacteria break it down without oxygen. That process releases biogas, which is captured and burned to generate electricity. So the sandwich no one bought can end up powering homes. Literally. Path 8. Composting. Food breaks down into soil for farms and gardens. And Path 9, the final one. Disposal. Straight to landfill or incineration. This is the path everyone imagines, but it is meant to be the last resort. So why does so much food still end up here, at the bottom of the tree? Here is something that sounds impossible. Sometimes throwing food away is the cheapest option. Cheaper than discounting it. Cheaper than donating it. Cheaper than recycling it. To understand why, you have to count the hidden costs of every other option. A worker has to sort it. Someone has to label it. It needs storage and refrigeration. It has to be transported. Paperwork has to be filed. All of that costs money and time. If those combined costs are higher than the value recovered, the math flips. For a low-value item, disposal can genuinely be the rational business choice. It is not cruelty. It is arithmetic. And that arithmetic explains a lot of what follows. Which brings us to the question everyone asks. Why not just give it all away? It feels obvious. Edible food exists. Hungry people exist. Just connect the two. But between those 2 points sits a wall of real, practical obstacles. Obstacle 1. Food safety. Once food leaves the store, who is responsible if it makes someone ill? A store cannot simply hand out food that might be unsafe. The legal risk is real. Quick pause. If you enjoy seeing the hidden systems behind everyday life, subscribe. Every week we uncover another invisible process happening all around you. Now, many countries actually protect food donors with special laws. In the United States, a 1,996 law shields businesses that donate food in good faith. So liability is often less of a barrier than people think. But it is not the only one. Obstacle 2. Logistics. Surplus food appears in small amounts, in many stores, every day. Collecting it needs vans, drivers, schedules, and refrigeration to keep it safe. A charity has to be ready to receive, sort, and distribute it before it spoils. That infrastructure is expensive, and it does not exist everywhere equally. Obstacle 3. Storage and labor. Sorting donations takes staff time and cold space. Every hour spent handling surplus is an hour not spent running the store. Obstacle 4, and the quietest one. Pricing strategy. If a store gives large amounts of food away nearby, some shoppers may simply wait for it. That can quietly undercut the paying customers the store depends on. So the choice is rarely simple greed. It is a tangle of safety, cost, and logistics. And every store weighs that tangle differently every single night. Now let us pull back and look at the whole picture. Because the scale is staggering. Roughly 1/3 of all food produced in the world is never eaten. That is around 1.3 billion tons of food every single year. If food waste were a country, it would be one of the largest emitters of greenhouse gases on Earth. Because wasted food is not just wasted food. It is wasted everything behind it. The water to grow it, the land to farm it, the fuel to ship it, the labor to stock it. All of that is thrown away too, the moment the food is discarded. The financial cost is measured in the hundreds of billions of dollars every year. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all food waste comes from the same place. We tend to blame supermarkets. They are visible. Their bins are easy to picture. Farms lose food before it ever reaches a store, to weather, pests, and cosmetic standards. Perfectly good vegetables get rejected simply for being the wrong shape or size. Factories lose food in processing. Trucks lose it in transport. Restaurants lose it on plates. Every link in the food chain leaks. The supermarket is just the most visible one. So where does the largest share actually come from? The answer surprises almost everyone. It is not the supermarkets. It is not the restaurants. It is us, our own homes. In many countries, households throw away more food than every supermarket combined. A major global study estimated households cause around 60% of all food waste. That is roughly 570 million tons of food thrown away in kitchens like yours. The forgotten leftovers. The bag of salad that wilted. The bread that went stale. The milk poured out because of a date that only ever meant best before. We buy too much. We store it wrong. We misread the dates. And we throw it away. This is not to shift the blame onto you. It is to correct the picture. The supermarket bin is real, but it is a small part of a much bigger system. And every part of that system is now under pressure to change. Because the cost, financial and environmental, has simply become too large to ignore. So the entire system is starting to redesign itself. And this is where it gets hopeful. The first big change is prediction. Supermarkets are getting far better at forecasting demand. Modern systems use machine learning to predict sales down to the individual product and hour. Better forecasts mean less overstock. Less overstock means less waste at the source. The second change is dynamic pricing. And it is quietly arriving on shelves right now. Instead of a worker manually applying stickers, digital price tags update themselves. As a product nears its date, the price can drop automatically, in real time. The discount finds the exact price that sells the item before it expires. The third change is food rescue apps, and these have exploded in popularity. Stores list unsold food at the end of the day. Customers buy it cheap through an app. One popular app lets you buy a surprise bag of leftover food for a fraction of the price. Everyone wins. The store recovers money. The customer saves. The food gets eaten. The fourth change is smarter logistics, connecting surplus to charities automatically. Software now matches a store's leftover food with the nearest charity that can use it in minutes. It removes the guesswork and much of the cost that made donation so hard before. The fifth change is automated inventory, shelves that track their own stock. Cameras and sensors watch what is selling and what is sitting in real time. The store can act on a slow-selling product before it is too late to rescue it. None of these fixes is perfect, and none of them solves the problem alone. But together, they are slowly reshaping how the whole system handles unsold food. And the biggest lever of all is still the simplest one. Us, buying a little less, storing food better, understanding what the dates really mean. Small changes in millions of kitchens add up faster than any single store ever could. The system is changing, but it changes fastest when the people inside it understand it. So let us go back to where we began. A supermarket at closing time. The doors lock, the lights dim, the shelves are still full. But now you know that nothing on those shelves simply disappears. Each unsold item enters a hidden network of decisions. Discount or donate. Transfer or return. Feed or power or compost or bin. A quiet chain of trade-offs between cost, safety, logistics, and waste. The food did not simply disappear. It went somewhere. And now, you know where.